So today's roundup starts underneath the XJ-S. Haven't been under here for a while, but I've just put the anti-roll bar and new brackets in place with its new bushings. So that's ready for when the independent suspension goes back in. I've got to somehow work out the best way of getting the flexible brake line in. I think probably undoing it from there, capping that off, and then reattaching it once the suspension's in place. That bracket has to go up a bit to line up with the bolts above it. We'll worry about that later on. I've got the new pipe to go on. And then the rest of today's work has been putting this thing back together again. Extreme close-up. Mainly because my phone doesn't zoom out any further than that. Let me just get out from under the car. I can show you more of what I've been up to. It is now in condition where it can go back into the car, which is great news. The brake line's in place, the handbrakes are all there. Hopefully I've set the handbrakes up correctly. There's a tiny little bit of movement before they engage, but everything seems to move pretty easily. So I'm reasonably happy that that's set up correctly. It certainly doesn't move if you hold the handbrake on, so that's great. The new shocks and springs in place. So that's all looking really tidy. The lock tabs knocked up there. I haven't done the ones on the radius arms, but I'll do those later on. That's where the anti-roll bar goes in on top of the radius arm. That's why there's holes there. And then I just need to verify that I've got these in the right order. I didn't make enough notes on that, so hopefully that will be reasonably easy to sort out and verify. But there it is. And in terms of spare parts left, we've got the 8 bolts to hold the suspension cage onto the car for the V-mounts, exhaust bracket, prop shaft, radius arm covers, safety catches, ABS brackets and O-rings, anti-roll bar bolts, including these little slim ones which seem pointless but they're there. Somewhere are the drop links. The drop links are over here. This little plate protects the fuel lines on the passenger side, and the bolts go on, those are V-mount bolts that go through those holes. And then these are the fixings that hold the bottom reinforcing tray in place, and those bolts are for the speedo sensor which goes in the back of the diff. And that is it. That's everything else in place. So there we are. I declare it almost finished, and hopefully can get it back in the car over the next couple of days. I'm waiting for a motorcycle lift to arrive to enable me to lift it into the car, which will go under here. This is all reasonably loose at the moment, so I can go under there to lift it up and turn it through 90 degrees to get it back under there. And I'm also waiting for a grease gun, which I've ordered because I need to go through and grease all the grease points before it goes in. I'm also going to fill the radius arms with anti-rust compound, so a bit of wax oil or something, because these tend to rust from the inside out. So if I fill these up with wax oil and give them a good old shaking around, I'm hoping that will probably make them last a bit longer. But that's it. So the next video you'll see will be hopefully of it back in the car, and I can test to see if everything's going to work okay. So bye for now, and I'll speak to you later.